Can you tell me how the scriptures today are in your life now in these times, how the scriptures are the light for your life? There's even a word in there in the scriptures somewhere where it says, your word is a lamp for my feet. I remember going out to get the cows for milking before going to school in the dark winter at home on the farm. Maybe it was, the days are very short in the winter in Ireland, so maybe we were getting the bus around 7:15 or so, and we had to obviously be cleaned up and dressed and everything, and after doing the cows and bringing the cows in so it would shorten the workload for Daddy. And it was a craggy area with a lot of hazel bush, and going out and finding the cows in the dark with a big flashlight and watching not to get tripped. You appreciate light when there's a lot of darkness. In our world today, there are a lot of good things, fantastic things, great developments, but also a lot of darkness, a lot of hatred, a lot of violence, a lot of suffering, a lot of war, a lot of human trafficking. People don't talk about it too much, a little bit, but a lot of darkness in our world. All the other trafficking as well, the cartels. So much darkness for people, so much pressure put on people, so much difficulty for people. And so here we are, and we're reading today how a man born blind is healed. How is the Word of God light for you? Actually, there are a lot more powerful statements in the Gospel reading today. And this then is especially potent for those of us who are Christians. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. The eternal Word made flesh. What incredible light that comes into the darkness of our world. But one of the lines in the reading today as well is so very powerful, that people thought that he was blind from birth because of the sin of his parents. That puts terrible pressure on his life. It's a judgment on his life. It puts terrible pressure on his parents socially. People look askew at them. They think they are evil doers, that they're not with God because their child was born blind. Even now, 2,000 years later, we can sometimes read some of the things that are in our lives as God's punishment on us, that God is harsh on us, God is hard on us. Why is God doing this to us? And God is pure love. He is love. Loving relationship. And the light that this gospel reading brings to us about all forms of suffering. He was not born blind because of the sin of his parents, but that the works of God's mercy would be revealed, that God's greatness would be revealed. Imagine if you think about your sickness, your illness, protracted illness, an incurable illness of a child, and even the illnesses of our world today, of our relationships, our social relationships, broken family life, that with the grace of God that can be turned around. And that where evil was, good can emerge to in such a powerful degree that God's glory will be revealed. The glory of God will be revealed through our suffering. And that brings us to a marvelous point of reference then, that everything, no matter how bad things are, in whatever sector of life, that that evil can be overcome, that negative circumstance, which is a different way of calling things than just pure evil, that negative circumstance can be turned around. It's amazing how many people's lives have been changed through negative circumstances. There's a very famous case that we Catholics are very familiar with, the story of Ignatius of Loyola. And he was a very worldly warrior type of guy, very in high circles of power. His family was very connected with Charles V, the emperor, and he was injured in a battle, and so he had to convalesce, and that became the foundation moment of the development of his spiritual life that turned everything around for him, which ended up becoming the order of the Jesuits, the amount of universities, the amount of schools, the amount of study, of intellectual endeavor and progress for humanity, the amount of education brought all over the world. Think of somebody like Peter Claver in South America taking care of the slaves. Think of somebody like Francis Xavier in India and going further east. And that was just one wound. And for the moment that Ignatius got that wound, imagine how down he would have been, how discouraged he would have been, the pain he had. And yet it became a moment of a great grace because the Lord opened his heart, and his heart agreed to open up. That's really amazing. I don't know what your list of things is, how the Word of God brings you life, how the presence of God brings you life, how Jesus walking here at the Sea of Galilee brings you light. But I just start listing a couple of things that come to mind for me. And one of them is just the creation of the world, that God created the world. That particular ray of light is so important. In ancient times, people didn't know if it was a fight between demons and gods, how the world came to be. And through the Word of God, we know that it's good, that it's for us. Even the color green in nature that's so dominant, and we know that that psychologically has such a great blessing for our heart and soul to see beautiful natural greens in the vegetation. It does us good. All of creation does us good. The 10 Commandments. Imagine the world without the 10 Commandments. The amount of light that brings into how we should structure our social relationships, even if they're all do not do this, do not do that, do not do the other. If they're imperatives, negative imperatives, the most of them, that brings so much light into our life. But then we can go on to the 2 summary commandments, to love God with all our heart and all our soul and all our strength, to love our neighbor as ourselves. What incredible gift is in those commandments. Those words of God, those words for life, those life-giving words. But so much more. I'm going to jump to a really big one, the Trinity. Understanding that God is Trinity brings so much understanding to life. And the relationship between man and woman in marriage, reflecting that love of God, who is relationship of love. And they look at their baby's eyes, the little boy, the little baby girl, and they see the fruit of their love is a person, reflecting the Holy Trinity. That total seeing the other, that bonding of love, that's a person. There's so much light in Revelation, so much light. God is the light of the world. The second reading is very powerful, but then another small little detail that's very big in our lives. David wasn't considered by his dad to present him to the prophet Samuel. That's our first reading. But God saw differently, and there are commentaries about that in the Old Testament itself. And God looks at the heart. And the ability to go beyond external appearance and to see how God sees things. The Word of God is seeing how God sees things. How God is light for my life. The encounter with Jesus for us Christians here at the Sea of Galilee brings so much light no matter how much cloud is around. forgive your enemies. The God who is Redeemer. That even the worst situations that we've gotten into can be redeemed. Can be redeemed. How much light, how much life. People, let's leave it like that for now. I wish you many, many blessings for today. See you later, alligators. And you are the light of the world. That's what Jesus said to us. Imagine that. And there's so much more in that reading today. It's just off the charts.